All right, welcome everyone to TechZone Academy. My name is Coach Winda Kingsley, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to register a domain name and hosting using Qserver. The first thing that comes into your mind when you are registering a domain name and hosting is your domain name. You need to choose the domain name first before registering a domain name and hosting actually. And you need to know whether the domain name you are registering is available or not. And next thing you need to do is you need to check a domain registrar. A registrar is a company that purchases and sends you that sells a domain name. Registrars, we have GoDaddy, we have Namecheap, we have Qservers, we have Truehost. You need to choose a domain registrar. The next thing you need to choose is also a hosting company. I've talked about the hosting company in my previous video, but most hosting companies also provides the service of registering domain also. And so I would prefer you buying your domain name from where you will host your domain, your website also. Like Namecheap and Qserver actually provides that service, that dual service. They sells domain name to you and also provides hosting. Reason is that you will not follow the process of adding DNS, changing and working on all those stuffs. So once you buy a domain name and hosting from the same company, they actually links the domain name and hosting together for you at once. So the first thing we are going to do is we want to look at the domain name availability of our the domain name we've actually choosing. For instance, you choose the domain name and you want to know whether the domain name is actually available on the to purchase, because if someone has actually purchased it, you cannot purchase it again. And so you can do that in two ways, either from the registrar, the website registrars, or you can go to namecheckaro.com to search for it. Namecheckaro actually provides more information. For instance, it tells you everywhere the brand name has actually been used. For instance, I type in a brand name here, it shows me where it has been used and where it has not been used. It spans throughout the internet in all social media platforms and check. For instance, let me use TechZone here. All right, let me search name check arrow now. Let me search the brand name. For instance, I wanted to use TechZone now as my domain name registry. Let me see whether it's actually available, because most times you want to use the domain name that will be the same when you are opening your Facebook, when you're opening your Twitter handles, your Instagram, your YouTube. All right, let me see where it has been used on the internet. It says it's still available on Slack, it's still available on Meetup, it's still available on Vimeo, it's available on Twitch, but it's not available on .com. That means someone has bought it with .com. So we now have a website called textdom.com. It's not available on Facebook again, but it's available on Twitter, Tumblr, it's not available on Reddit, it's available on YouTube. And so Namecheck actually helps you to see where a domain name has been used or not. For instance, I add AL to this domain name now. Let me say AL TechZone now, and I just click on search. Let me see whether it has been used on the internet. Alright, they say it's still available on Slack and Twitch, it's still available on .net and on MySpace. Okay, let me see whether it's available on .com. It says it's available on .com, but it's not available on Facebook. At least I might use this one, TechZone now. And so when you see a brand name that is available, when you check for the availability of a brand name, either use the name check arrow or the domain registrar, you look for the domain name you want to the domain registrar you want to use. But in this video, I'm going to use Qserver. You can use Namecheap, but it's also the same process. Okay, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process on how to do it. So just type qservers.ng. I just click on it and it takes you to Qserver. It says Nigerian best rated web hosting company. This is their promo. All right, now here's the home page about them, promotions. Now here's the hosting. We have web hosting, we have WordPress hosting, we have Cloud VPS hostings. Now here's the domain name where you register a domain name, transfer the domain name from another registrar, you transfer details forms .ng domains. Now we have SSLs, that is certificate for because there are certain websites that does not have security, that is HTTP. But if you buy a certificate here, you have HTTPS. They have the paid certificate. They also have the free certificate. Whenever you buy a domain and hosting from them, they give you a free certificate, and I'm going to teach you how to install that on the cPanel. We have the affiliate tool. For instance, you are into web designing and you buy it much, so you can do affiliate for them where you advertise them for other people. Once they use your link, they can get more, you get something from them. We have support. This client login. This is where you register for a new person. You log in. For instance, you already have an account with them. You log in, you register. Here you do payment options. These are just a way around Qserver. Okay, now you go down. Now, for instance, you did not use name check arrow to search for the availability of a domain name. You can also use the internal registrar's name search. Okay, for instance, let me search here now. It will still give me the same information that name check arrow gave me. Okay, texon.com. Let me search whether it's available. It will still give me the same thing. Alright, it says sorry. It says sorry, texon.com is already taken. So now let me add the AL to it. It says the name already exists in our database. Maybe I might have used it, but let me add S to it now. So it actually gives me the same information that was on the name check arrow. Also say congratulations, texons.com is available. And so from there, once I've searched for the availability of a domain name in all the hostings, name it Namecheap or Truehost, they are also the same process. Once you search for the domain availability of a website, you continue to purchase the domain name. Once you purchase, let's take the process of purchasing the domain name now. These are other options where it can take. Now this.com is the domain extension. These are other domain extensions. We have the .net, .ng, .info, .tv, .com.ng. The different domain extensions comes with different prices. The .ng is very expensive. The .com is 8,000, but the .com.ng is 1,500 naira. The .com is actually the most used domain extension on the internet, and so I also prefer you use it. But for training sake and you don't have enough money to buy the .com, you can actually buy the .com.ng to do training. Alright, let's continue. Click on continue. Now it says the next thing you do when you've actually looked for a domain availability and you've purchased the domain name, now you now add a hosting plan to it. Alright, these are different hosting plans. Now we have website hosting, we have WordPress hosting, we have VPS. These are different types of hosting in itself, but in each of these hosting we have different plans in them. For instance, now this website hosting now has starter packs, they have business pack, they have developers pack. So if you choose WordPress hosting, it shows the different types of packs also. Now WordPress hosting now, e has WP1, WP2, this is 1.5 per month. If you choose another kind now, the VPS shows you VPS 1 26,000 naira monthly and 312,000 naira yearly. We have another in each of the in each of the hosting, in each of the kinds of hosting, we have different packages in them. These are different, but we are going with the website hosting, and it has starter pack. So we are buying the starter pack because it's the cheapest here, and you can actually have 5 subdomains in it. It's good for any kind of business website. Alright, let's click on order now. Alright, now it takes us here now. It says use domain. Now we want to connect the starter pack now with our domain name so that we can buy the two of them together. Now we already have texonas.com in their shopping cart, so we can use this one, or we don't want textzonas.com again, we can now register a domain name here. For instance, you forgot to register a domain name, or you forgot to search for a domain name and you just went on to buy a hosting, you can actually add a domain name here too. So each any of them actually works well. Now we have the next one is to transfer a domain name from another registrar, like a registrar like Namecheap, a registrar like Truehost. You can actually transfer their your domain information from them to another domain registrar. Now you can also use your existing domain name that you've already purchased even on the Qserver itself. That is this one now. Even on Qserver itself, you can use the already existing domain name, then you update your name servers. But we are using the one that is already in our cart now. And we click on continue. Let's wait while it process. Alright. Now we have the choose billing cycle. We can choose monthly. Okay, let me give you a hint if you are going to use it to train. Now while you are buying, don't buy .com. If you're actually using it to train, buy .com.ng where you buy for 1,000, where you buy for 1,500. Then now when you have hosting, host for just 1 month. That is 900 naira, so that it gives you about 2,300 naira. So you use only 2,300 naira to buy a month domain name and hosting. Then you now use it to do training. When you are done, you can now buy a real domain name and hosting to build your portfolio website. If you don't have enough money, you can use 2,300 naira to have a domain name and hosting. We have other platform that gives us free hosting too. We have profreehosting.com, but I don't like people using it because their cPanel is very very poor while you are using it to learn. So just make a sacrifice to buy it like that. Now okay, we are using the annually, that is 9,000 naira. Then it says advanced DNS 500 naira annually. We don't need this. Komodo positive SSL certificate. Now this SSL certificate makes our website secured, okay, but we don't need it now. It's 7,500 naira annually. Qserver itself is going to give us a free SSL where we will install it from the cPanel. So just leave it and click on continue. Now textdollars.com has a hosting and it has a domain name also. Now DNS management is free. Let's click on it. Now who is privacy protect is 5,300 naira. Every domain registrar will ask you of a domain information, your contact details, every information about you. So it's called the who is privacy, it's called the who is information. And so when you click on it, when you buy who is privacy protect, when someone search for your domain name on whois.com, it will not release all your information for the person. Let me give you an example here. Let me type whois.com, whois.com. Let me see how whois works. Let me show you how it works. Now click on whois look up, this one here. Alright, let's wait while it loads. Okay, now search for the domain name that you know, or use the IP address. Let me use facebook.com, the one that is very popular, and let me click on search. Now it gives me all the information about facebook.com, the year it was bought, so the way it was registered, the year it will expire, the date it was updated, every information about the registrant name, the domain name, every information, even the address too of the person that bought this website. Okay, now if you don't want people to see your whois information, you can buy the domain whois privacy protect. But there is nothing bad, we are not doing a scamming website, so we don't need to buy it. Now we have this description on the checkout. Now all the information, like the website hosting is 9,000, the registration is 9,900, is 18,900, VAT 1,470.50 naira, 50 kobo, sorry. Now the total recurring is 20,317 naira, 15 kobo annually. Now mind you, anytime you buy a domain registrar, a domain name from a registrar, you will need to be paying for it every year. The year you do not pay for your domain name, it will it will actually expire and someone else can use your domain name. So I advise you to be buying your domain, to be repaying for your domain name every year. Alright, now the next information they ask us is our details. This is the information that will appear on the Whois website. Alright, if you are a new person and you've not logged in or signed up on Qserver, just input all your informations here, your first name, your last name, your company name, your email address. Okay, let me input my email address, your password. You can generate password, you can add, you input all this information here, input everything, confirm your password, you click on SMS, you input your phone number. Once you've inputed everything, you click on, you can add extra notes like I bought a domain and hosting, sorry, from you guys. You now click on I have read and agree to terms and condition. Once you click on checkout, it will take you to where you pay. See the payment method here, we have Rave or Paystack. Now you can use any of them to make the payment, but just leave it at Rave. Or you can actually navigate anyone that works better for you, Rave or Paystack. But now I'm a customer already, so I don't need this information. Once I click on this existing customer, I input my email address and my password. Now it's on Paystack. Now let me see how Paystack was. Alright, I click on checkout. Okay. Alright. It gives me all the information about it. Now this is my invoice. Now I can pay with Paystack or I can change it to Rave. Okay. I will click on pay now. Allow it to load. Alright, it shows us we can input our card number. We can pay through bank. Choose your bank here. You can now do transfers for those who are going to use transfers. I know a lot of people will want to use transfer to make the payment. What you do is that you just copy this account number, then you make the payment before 31 minutes goes off. Then once you are done making the payment, you click on I have sent the money. Once you send the money, they send you all your cPanel configurations and information to the email address you inputted while we are registering. Okay, but if you can choose any of them. If you have USSD, you can pay through USSD. If you have Visa code, QR code, you can use it. Any of these payment methods you can use it, but I know a lot of people want to use transfers. Okay, so I'm not buying this domain name actually, but if I was buying, once I make the payment and I click on I have sent the information, they will program and configure everything for me, add my DNS server, connect the domain name to the hosting and send me the information. But I'm not making the payment. If you are doing it, just send I have sent the money when you sent it, and you've purchased your domain name and hosting. Remember the following step. The first step you do is you check for the domain availability, the availability of a domain. You can use namecheckaro.com to search for it, or you can use the inbuilt search in the domain registrar's website. Once you are done with it, you add the hosting platform, you add the hosting package to it. Once you've added the hosting package, you input all your Whois information. When you are done with it, you send for checkout. Once you check for checkout, you make the payment, and once you are done making the payment, they send you your credentials. And that's how you buy a domain name and hosting from any hosting platform. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.